Hi, this is Mrs. Oakley, and today we're going to look at Unit 1 review. You have finally finished all your lessons for Unit 1, and this is just a quick review before we do your assessment. Okay, so statistical and non-statistical questions. How many students are in the 6th grade at Lane Middle School? Well, remember, a statistical question has to have is a question that has more than one answer or more than one data value. If I ask Mr. Heron how many students are in the 6th grade, he's going to give me one answer. If I then go on and ask Mr. Jackson, he's still going to give me the same answer. So this one here is definitely a non-statistical question. Okay, so that would be non-statistical. All right, what are the 6th grade students' favorite teachers at Lane Middle School? Well, they'd all say me, right? No, they're all going to say different people. And because they're going to be different answers, we say that this one here is definitely a statistical question. Right? Definitely statistical. All right, let's move on. Okay, remember the measure of center. The measure of center is the mean, median, mode, and range. So which one is going to be the best measure of center? And remember, we talked about the measure of center being the best when the mean is the best when there is no outliers. The median's best if there is outliers. The mode is best if there's lots and lots and lots and lots of repeats. Okay. And usually range isn't one we pick for that. All right. So let's find out, excuse me, how we find the mean. To find the mean, remember, we're going to add all those numbers. And when I added those, I got 333. And then I have to divide it by how many data values or how many numbers there were up there. Well, there were 9 different numbers. So I divided 333 divided by 9, got me 37 as my mean. Now, median, remember, to find the median, we have to put it from the lowest to the greatest value. And then find the 1 or the 2 in the middle. In this case, there's 1 in the middle because it's an odd number of them. If it wasn't even, and I would take those 2 middle ones, add them, and then divide by 2 to get that median. But for this one here, it's 36. Okay, remember the mode is the number or numbers that repeat. When I put in order, I could easily see that 31 is there twice, and so is 42. So I have 2 modes. Okay, the range is taking the largest value and subtracting the smallest value to get 25. Very good. All right, so remember, with the measure of center, we have things that we call outliers. And remember, an outlier is a number that is extremely different, either extremely small or extremely large. There may be more than one outlier. All right, so let's look at these right here. If I were to find the mean with it, so let's just find our mean, median, mode, and range of all those numbers first. Okay, so I took all these numbers and I add them together and they give me 260. Well, there were 10 numbers, so I divide by 10 to get 26. Okay, now remember, get them in order from least to greatest. When I did that, I found out that there were 2 middle numbers, 21 and 23 were both middle numbers. So I added them, got 44, divided by 2, got 22 as my median or my close to my middle. Okay, mode is the one that repeats. Well, there was only one number up there that repeated, and that was 14. Okay, remember the range is taking the largest minus the smallest, and you get 60. Now, remember we talked about the uh, outlier being something that's very, very different. So in this case, the outlier is 74 because it's a lot larger than everything. Now, to find the mean without the outlier, we add all those numbers up, but we take 74 out. That gets us 186 divided by 9. Well, when I divided that by 9, I got 20.666666, and it just kept going. So I rounded it to 20.667. All right. Putting them in an order this time, my median is going to change because I'm taking 74 away. So instead of 10 numbers, I have 9. So my middle one would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 21 would be my median. Now mode does not change because we still have the same number repeating. Okay, range is going to change because instead of taking 74 as our big one, 32 is the biggest, and we subtract the smallest to get 20. So what was the best measure of center? Well, if you remember, whenever there's an outlier, we always choose the median. All right, so here's a dot plot, and I know you know how to do dot plots. I mean, those are super easy. I make a line, I label the little lines, and I put dots above how many. Well, there were 5 12s, there were 3 14s, and there were 2 17s. All right, shape of distribution. Remember, there's a four different ones. There's skewed left, there's skewed right, there's uniform, and there's symmetric. Okay, and remember, when we're looking for skewed left and right, we're looking for the tail. So on this one here, I can see that the tail is over here at the left, so we call this one skewed left. Now remember, to have something symmetric, it has to be similar on the right and left side. So these is symmetric because it's similar. All right, look down here, see how they all go across? We'd call that definitely uniformed. And here's our tail on the right, so here's our skewed right. Great job. All right, this is where it gets tricky. Remember, creating a box and whisker. Well, the first thing we have to do to find a box and whisker is to find the minimum value. Well, for us, our minimum value, our smallest number, was 12. Then we have to find the maximum value, which was 25, and we draw a line in between them. Now remember, we have to find the upper and lower quartiles to make the box. So when we put them in order and we find that there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 numbers. So the first 5 are going to be part of the lower quartile, and the second 5 are going to be the upper quartile. So I'm going to find the middle of that bottom group, and that bottom group, its quartile or its median in that lower quartile would be 14. When I did the same thing to the upper, I got 23. Now remember, to find the median, we put the line right there. And notice that there were 2 numbers, so we had to add and divide by 2, and it got us right in the middle. All right, moving on. So looking at here, here's a box and whisper. A box and whisper. A box and whisker plot, okay? So let's find the minimum. Remember, it's always where the line starts. So 20 would be our minimum. Okay. Now, lower quartile is the start of the box. So that would be at 30 because 20, 30, 40. Okay. Median is the line, would be at the 50. Upper's where the box ends, which is at the 70. Maximum is where the line ends, so that would be 80. Now, range. Range is the line, remember? It's not the box, it's the line. So we're going to take 80 and we're going to subtract 20 from it and get 60. Now, for the IQR, the inner quartile range, we're going to take the 70 where the box stops and where the box started at 30, and we're going to subtract them to get 40. Great job. All right, let's look at a frequency table. So here are these numbers, and they put them into days. So 10 to 20 days, 20 to 20, 21 to 30 days, and 31 to 40. Well, what I did over here is I counted up and I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fit between 10 and 20. Okay. And then I said 1, 2, 3, 4 fit between 21 and 30. And then I said 1, 2 fit between 31 and 40. Okay, so now I get to take that. Now remember, the frequency is how many you have on the side. Down at the bottom is your age levels, right? So we said in the 10 to 20 category, we had 5. We said in the 21 to 30, we had 4. 31 to 40, we had 2, and that is a histogram. Great job. All right, now it is time for you to go and take the unit assessment. You may use your notes on the test. Great job.